The grand arena of the Galactic Academy fell into reverent silence as Headmaster Carveth stepped forward, his 4 eyes reflecting the glow of the containment field behind him. Suspended within that lattice of crackling energy was a creature spoken of only in warnings and casualty reports. The Vorex Apex. Across 1,000 systems, its name carried the same meaning: extinction. Its body was a fusion of nightmare and evolution. Dense muscle layered beneath black crystalline scales. 6 limbs ending in hooked talons capable of tearing through reinforced hull plating. A segmented tail heavy with bone spurs. Its head tilted slowly, multiple eyes tracking movement with cold, calculating awareness. The energy field strained as the beast flexed, testing invisible limits with ancient patience. For 3 centuries, Carveth announced, his translator smoothing predatory clicks into calm standard, no sentient species has defeated a Vorex Apex in single combat. Today, the Academy offers honor, recognition, and ascension in rank to any cadet who succeeds. None moved. The Thoraxian giants, towering masses of chitin and muscle, remained seated. The luminous Zephyri flickered uneasily, their light dimming. Even the Croft Dominion cadets, conquerors of entire star systems, avoided the beast's gaze. Silence stretched, heavy and absolute. High in the upper tiers, Cadet Elena Ward watched quietly. She was human, barely 160 centimeters tall, wearing a standard Academy uniform that seemed almost fragile compared to the armored forms around her. She had reviewed the data files long before today. Vorex Apexes did not tire. They did not panic. They regenerated wounds that would cripple war machines. "This isn't a trial," whispered an alien cadet nearby. "It's an execution." Carvetha's gaze swept the stands. "Is there no species willing to test itself?" Elena exhaled slowly. She had trained for moments like this, though not this one. Not publicly. Not alone. She raised her hand. The arena erupted into stunned murmurs. Heads turned. Sensory crests flared. Several cadets laughed outright, certain they had misunderstood. "Human cadet," Carveth said sharply, antennae stiffening. "You are aware of the creature you challenge?" Elena stood. Her voice carried clearly. "Yes, Headmaster," she said. "That's why I volunteered." Behind the containment field, the Vorex Apex shifted, and for the first time, the galaxy noticed the human. Disbelief rolled through the grand arena like a physical force. Laughter echoed from the Croft delegation, deep and mocking. Their war leader rose to his full height, armored plates gleaming beneath the arena lights. "The human is confused," he boomed. "Your species has no claws. No fangs. No natural armor. You are soft." Elena did not look at him. She kept her eyes on the Vorex Apex. "Cadet Ward," Headmaster Carveth warned, "humans joined the Academy barely 20 cycles ago. Your biology is fragile. Your survival instincts are misunderstood," Elena interrupted respectfully. "Permission to explain." The headmaster hesitated, then inclined his head. "Granted." Elena descended the steps toward the arena floor. Each footstep echoed. She stopped just short of the containment field, studying the beast's posture, its breathing rhythm, the minute tension shifts beneath its scales. "Every species represented here," she said calmly, "evolved alongside apex predators stronger, faster, and better equipped than themselves. You learned avoidance. Submission. Balance." She turned to face the watching cadets. Humans didn't. Murmurs rippled again. "We hunted ours," Elena continued. "Not because we were dominant, but because we were persistent. Saber cats. Dire wolves. Cave bears. Creatures larger and deadlier than anything in this arena." The Croth war leader snorted. "We killed them," Elena said evenly, "with sharpened stone, teamwork, and patience. We chased prey until it collapsed from exhaustion. We trapped what we couldn't overpower. We learned patterns. We learned fear. A Zephyri cadet flickered uneasily. But you had no natural weapons. Elena nodded. So we made them. She tapped the compact gear modules at her belt. We weren't the fastest, so we learned endurance. We weren't the strongest, so we learned leverage. We weren't armored, so we learned anticipation. She met Karvetha's gaze. I've studied the Vorex Apex. Every recording. Every encounter. I don't intend to outfight it. The headmaster's voice lowered. Then what do you intend? Elena's answer was immediate. I intend to hunt it. Silence returned, thicker than before. The containment field disengaged with a thunderous crack. The Vorex Apex launched forward instantly, crossing the arena in a blur of muscle and violence. The ground fractured beneath its first step. Elena was already moving, not backward, but sideways. The beast's claws tore through empty air where she had been a heartbeat earlier. What followed would redefine combat doctrine across the academy. She never tried to overpower the creature. She redirected it. Columns became obstacles. Shadows became tools. Each movement forced the apex into predictable paths. Small devices fell from her hands as she moved. Traps. Signals. Corrections. The hunt had begun. For long minutes, the Vorex Apex dominated the arena with raw violence. Each charge cracked stone. Each strike shattered barriers designed to stop heavy artillery. Yet it never landed a decisive blow. Elena flowed around its attacks like smoke. When it lunged, she sidestepped. When it struck downward, she rolled beneath its reach. She targeted joints, tendons, and balance points, not armor. The crowd watched in growing unease. She isn't running, whispered a Thoraxian cadet. She's guiding it. Every obstacle in the arena became part of her design. Pillars forced the creature to commit to linear charges. Broken debris limited its turning radius. The Vorex Apex adapted quickly, but not fast enough. A heavy foot came down on one of Elena's devices. A precise electrical pulse surged into the creature's neural cluster. Not enough to injure. Enough to surprise. Another step. Another pulse. The apex roared, frustration replacing instinctive confidence. Its movements grew aggressive, then cautious. Each advance slowed. Each attack hesitated. She's conditioning it, murmured a human cadet. Teaching it consequences. The Vorex Apex began testing the ground before committing. Its legendary predatory certainty fractured. Minutes stretched into a quarter hour. The arena no longer belonged to the beast. It belonged to Elena. Finally, she stopped moving. She stood in the center of the shattered arena, breathing steadily, arms loose at her sides. Across from her, the Vorex Apex circled warily. Its breaths came heavy. 6 eyes locked onto one small human. Elena did not raise a weapon. She did not flinch. She met its gaze. Predators understood posture. Dominance. Resolve. The apex slowed. Its tail lowered. Muscles uncoiled. Then, impossibly, the creature bowed its head. The arena did not erupt. No cheers came. Only silence, deep, reverent, and shaken. Headmaster Karveth approached slowly, antennae trembling. How, he asked quietly, did you accomplish this? Elena looked up, sweat streaking her face, exhaustion evident but controlled. My grandmother taught me something, she said. There's no such thing as an apex predator. Only predators that haven't met humans yet. She glanced back at the subdued beast. We don't rely on strength, she continued. We endure. We adapt. We learn. And once we do. She paused. We don't stop. The Vorex Apex was led away, subdued not by chains, but by understanding. The Kroth war leader stepped forward and performed a formal salute reserved only for equals. "Your species," he said solemnly, "is more dangerous than any monster." Elena allowed herself a tired smile. "Now you understand," she replied. The galaxy would remember this moment. The Galactic Academy's rankings changed within the hour. Earth rose from obscurity to prominence, climbing tiers no species had managed without war. But numbers were not what unsettled the galaxy. It was perspective. In council chambers across known space, footage of the arena replayed endlessly. Analysts slowed frames. Studied footwork. Mapped decision points. They did not see brute force. They saw planning. They saw restraint. They saw a predator that refused to kill when control was enough. That disturbed them most. Headmaster Carveth addressed the assembly later that cycle. "We believed apex predators defined dominance," he said. "Today, we learn dominance is defined by adaptation." Elena Ward returned to her quarters without ceremony. To her, the outcome felt inevitable. Humans had always survived by redefining the rules of engagement. Messages arrived from across the academy. Requests. Questions. Warnings. One Kroth commander summarized it best: "You did not defeat the beast. You replaced it." Elena forwarded the message to Earth Command with a simple annotation: "They're starting to understand." On distant worlds, military doctrines shifted. Predator classifications were revised. Human behavioral models were added to strategic databases under a new designation. Adaptive apex species. Not because humans were strongest. Not because they were fastest. But because they refused to accept the limits imposed by nature, tradition, or fear. The Vorex apex would recover in time. It would remain dangerous. But it would never forget the lesson carved into instinct. Neither would the galaxy. From that day forward, no academy trial involved humans as spectators. They were studied. Consulted. Occasionally avoided. And whenever a species unveiled its greatest weapon or most terrifying monster, a single question echoed in countless minds. How would a human hunt this? Elena stood once more in the grand arena weeks later, watching new cadets train. The space where the apex had stood was empty now. She preferred it that way. Humanity had not come to the stars seeking domination. They came carrying an older truth, forged long before spaceflight. Survival was never about claws or armor. It was about learning faster than whatever tried to kill you. And if necessary, teaching it fear.